Hey guys, what is happening and welcome to this video. So in today's video, we've got the Windsor housing market, Windsor Essex County housing market statistics. We're going to dig deep into these and you're going to find out exactly why these are so important. So without further ado guys, let's jump right into this video. So first of all, I just want to say before we jump into this video, share this video wherever you can. And this isn't for my benefit. It's just to show people the stupidity of this housing market, and people who don't believe it's a bubble, they need to see this video because, I mean, for most people, it's just going to be so blatantly obvious when I go through these statistics how Windsor is the bubble indicator of Canada and how it shows so raw, right in your face, how the mortgage lending is just totally screwed up in Canada. Okay guys, so let's dig deep into these. All right, so Windsor sales down from record highs, and they posted the weakest sales month of July 2021 since February. So the sales were 631 and last month they were 727. And this is an opposing trend compared to last year. So I just want to notice that last year, July sales were actually stronger than June's. This year, it's the opposite trend. They're going down and they're way less than obviously 2020 sales. So sales have fell 12.5% month over month, okay? And new listings have declined 8.39%. So there's a surplus there. So that means new listings coming onto the market are declining at less of a fast pace than the sales. So that isn't good. And the new listings are over what the sales are by about 40%. New listings are 1,047, down from 1,143 last month. So new listings are about 40% higher than sales there. And average prices have slipped 2.4% month on month. Now that's quite a lot for 1 month, but nevertheless, it's like I said, guys, I don't think we're going to see any immediate effect, and we might see prices bounce back a little bit. If you look at a bubble cycle, you'll understand why. So they're down 5.2% since April, okay? So if you got a house recently and you put the minimum down, or maybe you didn't even do that, maybe you got zero down, you're in negative equity already. So in 2019, guys, just to give you some context on the Windsor real estate market so you understand it a little bit better, in July 2019, the average house price was $342,000. Now it's $542,000. That's July 2019 to July 2021 now. 2 years later, that represents an increase of 58.3% in home values. Now you might be just going, oh yeah, this is Canada. Real estate only goes up, it never goes down. Keep listening, trust me. Windsor has the highest unemployment rate in the whole of Canada right now, 11.8%. That is up nearly 6 percentage points, which represents a 97% increase in unemployment over the past 2 years. So not only have housing prices increased 58% since July 2019, unemployment is double of that. So it just doesn't make sense because they are just totally going the opposite direction to the fundamentals. And Windsor is not an investment hub. Don't kid yourself. I've been to Windsor. Funnily enough, I was actually in Windsor in September 2019. I flew there because I was going to Detroit. And when I left Windsor and we crossed the bridge to go to Detroit, when we got into Detroit, we were like, wow, this is nicer than Windsor. And this is Detroit, Detroit, Michigan. But Detroit's not actually that bad. But I just want to give you some perspective here on what the unemployment rate was during the late 80s recession, which caused a huge bubble pop of real estate here in Canada, which was being speculated on the same as it has been for the past 30 years. And it was the same thing, funnily enough, when you go and look at that, immigration. There was also the fact that women were now joining the workforce, and women are joining the workforce now. People have got double the income. So that must mean that housing prices can double. And it's just kind of funny that was not actually lies. It wasn't actually lies, but it just doesn't stop what's inevitably going to happen when you have rapid price increasing. So basically, in the 1990s, the unemployment rate was 11.5%. Isn't that crazy? In the 1990s recession, the unemployment rate was actually less than it is now. So the unemployment rate is higher, and housing prices are just going to the moon right now. So your alarm bells should be going off at that point. And if you bought a house in the past year or 2020 in Windsor, then oh my God, I just don't know what to tell you. And just so you know as well, in 2009 the unemployment was 8% when it reached the peak. So in the late 80s recession, I just want to say this as well, unemployment levels spiked during a period of 3 years. Now we are 2 years into this thing. Guess how long it took to recover that? Do you think there was massive stimulus? There was all kinds of measures that came with that recession, and people thought, it's just going to prevent the whole thing from happening, and it didn't. The thing is, it took 15 years. It took until 2006 to recover below the late 70s and 80s recessions that happened. It took that long to recover from those unemployment numbers. And I just want to mention something else real quick as well. Bank of Canada is worried about the low quality mortgages. Well, we know why that is. Look at what I'm telling you here. This isn't investors coming to Windsor and suddenly deciding, and even if they are, they're not going to be able to rent them out to pay the mortgage. They're going to be negative yielding products. So if you want negative yielding products, just go and buy bonds right now, junk bonds, because they're literally reaping negative rewards. And the other thing I just want to touch on real quick is the unemployment numbers, because we saw a employment report that came out last week on the 6th, and I just want to highlight a couple of things because you may have seen some reports on it and they didn't tell you the whole truth. So analysts were actually forecasting Canada was going to have 177,000 jobs created. Okay. So analysts were actually forecasting that Canada was going to create 177,000 jobs during July. Well, it actually came in at 94,000. That's a huge, staggering amount that was different to what they expected. And with all the reopenings and everything, it's pretty disappointing. And when you look at unemployment, it is starting to stabilize now at this elevated level, you'll notice. It's not really going down that much. We had this whipsaw effect, which you can see right there, where it goes down massively, it comes back up a little bit, but nothing to get rid of these two spikes down here. And then it's kind of just consolidating now at these levels. So these high unemployment levels aren't going anywhere, and there's going to be some huge changes that are probably going to happen over the winter that will cause unemployment to go up yet again. And because the Bank of Canada is being forced to taper back its quantitative easing program because asset prices are getting ludicrous and the bubble will pop on its own if they don't deflate it anyway, that means the government is going to have to start reining in its spending. And guess what, guys? These unemployment rates and numbers and everything like that, they're all artificial because the government has the economy propped up right now and stimulus such as the wage subsidy, business loans, and also things like CERB. So once all those benefits end, guess what? The unemployment's going to go back down because so many businesses have shut and they aren't returning and being replaced. And because you saw this mass shift in psychology towards housing, and because we've seen all that money that has been poured into housing and it hasn't been poured into starting up enterprises, well, guess what? That is going to show in the economy. The economy we're going to have stagflation for a long time in Canada. I hate to say it, but Canada's economy is not going to be booming after this. And immigrants also, lots of immigrants coming in, taking the low skilled job, keeping wages suppressed, they're not going to help things either. And I'm an immigrant myself, but I'm just telling the truth. Like, Canada is in a bad place because of poor management from the federal government that we have, and they will probably get re-elected. The same stupid people that will have caused the recession that we're going to be going into for many years. This is not going to be something that just blows over. People are thinking that there's just going to be some huge boom after this and it's going to be like the Roaring 20s. The Roaring 20s are right now. The Roaring 20s are last year when you saw all this money going into housing. Nobody was starting up jobs. The government could have been encouraging people to come up with new ideas, new businesses, stuff like that. But instead they didn't. They did everything the wrong way. And that is what it is. Governments are always going to do it. No government's ever going to be perfect. But you just have to realize that they are solely responsible for the disaster that we're in, them and the Bank of Canada. But really, the Bank of Canada is just doing what they have to do to prop up the monetary system because of the government's reckless spending. And a lot of people are just for spend right now. And they don't think the tax increases are ever going to come. And if they do come, then that's going to drag down the economy even more. It's like real estate. If you imagine the economy as a person, real estate is this person stood over the economy and they have their foot on their neck and they're just suffocating the economy. And that's what real estate is doing right now. It's taking up such a large proportion of the economy and GDP. But anyway, I would just encourage you to think about starting up a new business. Some businesses that I think will be really, really popular, especially if you're in Ontario, Alberta, and parts of British Columbia, will be cleaning companies. Cleaning companies and junk hauling companies. Things that do the whole package, that can clean up a house, take all the junk out of it. Those companies are going to be very, very popular. And let's face it, right now it's an easy thing to get together, get all the cleaning supplies together and do ready. And you can also clean houses in the meantime. It's not a glamorous job, but trust me, you could be making a lot of money in that job over the next couple of years and become a big business. But anyway, guys, I thank you for watching this video. I hope some of this information was useful to you. And yeah, we're just going to keep covering the housing market and we'll see what happens. I need to do a video on gold and silver. Yeah, we'll get there, guys. There's so many videos, so much information that I want to share with you. Keep those messages coming. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace and love, guys.